Quilter's newsletter, Machine Quilting Tips and Techniques, is brought to you by Bernina, Made to Create, and Benartex, Fabric for Quilters by Quilters.
Hi, I'm Connie Fanders, and this is Quilter's newsletter, Machine Quilting Tips and Techniques with Bernina. And as a quilter, have you ever considered using a serger to piece your quilts? Well, let me show you how you can use a serger and why you may want to consider purchasing a serger to put your quilts together with. First of all, a serger is a machine that will sew very fast. You can serge up to 1,300 stitches per minute. So if you choose a simple quilt pattern, such as the one here, it will go together very quick and very easy. Also, if you do a quilt with your serger, the inside of your quilt is very trimmed and neat. And you can make the seam allowance of your serger 1/4 of an inch, just like you can with your sewing machine. If you use lightweight thread, you're not adding any extra bulk to your seam allowance, and you can very easily piece together your quilts. Not only can you use the serger to piece your quilts, but whenever you go to the fabric store and you buy yardage of fabric and you want to take it home and pre-wash it, well, if you simply run the raw edge through your serger, it will give you a nice serged edge that is not going to ravel as you pre-wash your fabric. This is one of my favorite things to do with all of my fabric when I get home from the quilt store. Another great technique that you can do with your serger is to make prairie points. And this is a technique that you are using the rolled edge feature on your serger to make the edging here of the prairie points. Serging fabric such as flannels as well is a great thing with sergers because it will hold all of your ends together. Also with your quilts, when you finish a quilt and before you want to bind it, if you serge around the edge of the quilt, it will also hold those edges together nice and neat for you. Now there is another serger that is available, which is a cover stitch and chain stitch machine. And this little machine can also be used for quilting. You can use the chain stitch as a straight stitch, as you see here. Here's the bottom side. If you want to put together a rag quilt that is so popular and so easy to make. That chain stitch also works great if you're doing a quilt as you go project, where you're putting your backing and your batting and your top layer all together. The chain stitch on the serger holds that together nice and tight because the chain stitch is a very, very strong stitch. So these are just a few of the ways that you can use a serger and a cover and chain stitch machine with your quilting. I hope you give it a try. Join us again for the next episode of Machine Quilting Tips and Techniques with Bernina.
Quilter's newsletter, Machine Quilting Tips and Techniques, is brought to you by Bernina, Made to Create, and Benartex, Fabric for Quilters by Quilters.